Right, this is one of the more recent ones, and it's relentlessly rhyming, and some people hate rhyme, let alone relentless rhyme, but what the hey, as they say. Anyone of any note is on somebody's list, some fated to be killed, others destined to be kissed. Be assured that when the smoke clears, many will raise their fist. Will you conform to their will, or shall you finally resist? Choose your path. No planet B, one Earth, one last chance. Leave the dead end which you are in, take a stance. Power conjoined to greed, a proven failed romance. They are real, and you the victim of some kind of trance. And then play by the rules. You will be left alone, and forever in the shadows, without a voice, unknown. Step into the light, be as one who has outgrown the lies and deceptions of those who seek to own. Do not be so well fooled. There are enemies. This is war. Do not forget for a moment what the fighting is all for, and do not fear their wrath. Watch for that final straw, for there is no justice in self-serving suspect law, conceived only to control, corrupt to the core.
G'day. Yep, I might do some more relentless rhyme like Michael. This is from a long time. I won't do it all because it goes on and on. And it's composed of 13 modern sonnets, I think, something like that anyway. And it's called A City Crossing Time. The city woke, the foghorn sounding long, broke in his bed, awake now to gulls' cries and the sea air, dreams and girls in his eyes, the hostels spun in his mind with a gong of the town hall clock. The room was white and charcoal drawings of lovers were hung with black smudges and blue tack and half swung from the walls. Through the curtain breaking light from a crack, and the morning came pouring in, salt and jasmine scented. But closing his eyes and rolling, he swam with his curls on the cliffs in the rain, with the moonlight that fell and his dreaming eyes filled with girls, sleeping until 3. He'd been out all night. 4 o'clock on the phone in the foyer, then walking up Parkway Avenue. Norfolk pines that dipped their heads in the blue sky, climbing now on the road, the sea's laughter falling in waves on the rusting salt air, tankers waiting in line to harbour, and a storm low in the sky beyond the sand. He stood with his drinking eyes and his hair in the wind. As the light dimmed, the storm grew. It sucked at the gulls and the wind and drew in the sky, driving the swimmers away. And standing as the cars left the car park, the lightning flashing at the end of the day, alone with the rain and the rising dark. Returning now bright through the slanting rain, the hostel doors open, voices in the hall, loud laughter and table tennis ball clicking in the background. Climbing again the stairs to his room, the sound of the sea and the rain still in his hair. He ate, talked, showered and dressed. Ready by 8, he was back in the night, walking quickly down Dawson Street and turning stopped. The dark heads of pine trees whispering in the park. In the slow wind that follows rain, he knocked, waiting on the path for his taller friend. Down past the terrace houses with doors locked, they talked, following the street to its end. Giant fig trees in Lehman Street, crowd black over streetlights lacquered with rain, down past the singing fountain on steps moving fast, the town hall clock yellow through the trees, back again cutting through Civic Park, brake lights and headlights on King Street, the sky stark yellow and billowing low over the dark city, emerging now with all the nights before and since that run to the harbour, the line of orange lights by the foreshore, stretching out to Nobby's and the break wall beyond, to the brewery where figures crowd and jostle and throb with the rise and fall of the music on the wharf beating loud. In the city that wrinkles and stretches like blue fabric, voices call blind across the years, rising through the weave as waves toss against the shore and the night wind catches at the hair. Let's go upstairs. What? The beat of the music increasing as they climb, pushing themselves up through the crowd in time to catch the band. As a bus in the street pulls up and students pouring out begin to flood the dance floor. A girl, streamers in her hair, yells something in his ear. Nodding, he smiles, bumps into a man holding drinks who shouts, rhinoceros-necked and glaring, then spins in a wave of dancers and sinks. I'll leave it there because it goes on, but that's the first 5. Thank you.
Wow! Thank you.
This poem is called Heaven in Earth. In Earth's church, mists of history rise through channels of heart. Peaked boulders are weathered by rituals of love, solid friendships with mothers of all souls. Held in arms beside water flows, washing and giving our life wants new meaning. Signposts, whispers from the heart of earth. We are the readers of sacred stories through river, tree, and cloud. All come to our seeking eyes, sharing the gift of soul desire. The sacred is our gift known, given, received on high. No other love shall usurp the footprints of seekers, lovers, and those who behold the artist's brush on the God-given. We breathe this land into our being, escape dust of mundane, lift up vision of spirit and sing divine words, music from sky's air. We fly and are miracles ourselves, joined in a dance prayer. Upon this land, sanctified with gossamer, spirit, light, so pure, we can only stand, feel it, and verify our sacred joy to celebrate heaven in earth.
Woo!
This poem's called Fearless. I gave my everything to them all, even when I had nothing left to give, but all they did was shrug, gave my emptiness a name and walked away. Their silent dust clouds haunting me 24/7 as I saw no one but dusty ghosts wherever I turned. But I'm done being a martyr, a scapegoat. I'm done explaining myself to those with no eyes to see, no ears to hear, those who justify treating people like they're buried under the ground they walk on so they can walk all over them, so they feel better, validated in their ignorance. Those whose mouths fire words at everyone's ears, filling them with targeted lies in an attempt to murder my truth, desecrate my soul. Yet when it comes to me, all they do with their gun is silence it. Blame it for having a trigger that they knew they shouldn't pull, but they pulled it anyway. And it makes me think, just because you show love doesn't mean you'll be loved. Just because you give compassion doesn't mean you'll receive it in return. Just because you listen, honor, respect doesn't mean others will. Just because your strength is softness doesn't mean you are strengthless. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you. For there is courage in fearlessness, power in softness and strength, and I will stand firm, no longer hiding from their loaded guns. Because just like their actions, they are full of blanks. Thank you.
Woo! That was a great closing line. Thank you.
Yeah.
My first poem. I step on the train. I think about the things that, well, happened before the train got to the station and I got on it. COVID ruined it. There's a storm building up inside me. Dark grey clouds loom above me. There's a storm brewing outside of me. Rain pours down inside me. There's a storm happening inside of me. Thunder claps loud from above, a reminder of what happened last time. There's a storm out to sea yet inside me. My feelings on a little ship rocking away. There's a storm right above me. Clouds ready to do what they do best. There's a storm out to sea yet inside of me. My ship now sunken and my feelings drowned. There's a clearing in the sky beside me. Sunlight rays shining down like I can grab them. There's an octopus wrapping its tentacles around my sunken, drowned thoughts, squeezing them close so they have to go away. There's a clearing in the sky beside me. Sunlight rays like ropes for me to climb up. There's a storm of thoughts inside me. Thoughts like driftwood washing up on beaches inside me. There's a storm raging outside of me, washing away the sunlight rays ropes, my only escape from this storm, in and outside of me.
Adam and Eve gave into temptation before they got kicked out of Eden. And you and me turned this garden of friendship into lust. Now there's no hope for us, sinners for life, but at least you're by my side. Guess God messed up, handing out punishment. Don't think we'll ever come down to earth because this is still heaven. That's it. Thank you.
And I think I'm going to begin with a little fairy tale, a little retelling of a fairy tale. And this is from my unpublished first collection of poetry called Tight Bindings. It has a whole bunch of reimagined fairy tales at the end, and this one is Beauty and the Beast. Under a powder blue sky with drifting smoke, there's a back road that no one has cause to take, a fence with leafless rose bushes and skulls of steers that guard the gate. The house is ringed with rambling sheds where heavy, sharp and grinding tools are kept, a garden wild and tangled, flecked with flight of red-capped fairy wrens. And you have heard, here lives the beast. He has such shining fur, such shining eyes, so diamond sharp and pale. You think you've never seen anything so male. Everybody wants to touch him. Shy girls, old women, straight men, everyone wants to tangle fingers in that mane. Those gleaming claws appeared no more than fine, articulate fingers. The way he looked at you and saw the blood that beat beneath your skin seemed evidence of grace. All you want to do is follow every rippling cloud across his face. Wrap yourself in muscle, sleep on growling chest. And you think you are the only woman who's tucked herself into his house, drunk the beer he handed you and thought, here's my life now, with a quiet thrill. You don't believe a thing they say in town. Besides, those shunning only serve to hard and beastly natures of their own. And look how he has time for all of them, lavishes feasts of smile and wit, makes angelic visitations, spreads his redolent length upon the verandas of the lonely. You don't need anyone else. He is huge, enough to make up for your smallness. He protects you, and you are scared. The dream is to reveal what he is hiding under clothes. Perhaps the good man he grows to be. Perhaps rank pelt, wafts of sweet manure, sticky burrs and sweat and fear. But it's you alone who can lick and soothe and clean away that fear. Your roots hold fast. You weather droughts with your wordless friends. They flit about the little wrens with drops of blood upon their heads. You're nothing like those other women who he tore apart. For you have read the story, transformation at its heart, and the part that no one seems to remember, where beast becomes human and human beast. Then it is only a sign of intimacy and trust to hear at night the cries of swallows in his garden, crushed, whose nests he battered down with thwacking paws, the cries of cattle whose sides he slashed and left a bloody feast for flies, or the cries of wallaby whose graceful necks he snapped, dragging hot fur on the forest floor, and the rumors of women to whom he did all of this and more. I do not mean to say that nature cannot change. But I saw you stray on that road, the stones obscured utterly with bracken, where his scent lay thick with spreading powerful warmth. And it is far, far too easy to say that we must simply know our value, refuse to be his prey. You would not be turned away, nor should the burden of that choice have been yours. Perhaps his transformation is only ever wrought beneath the teeth of other beasts, their particular smoke and fire talk, not by all the heroic strength with which you followed his twitching tail into the scrub, escorted by flashing reptiles and the startled flight of birds. Thank you.